Hi guys, I have a dream to share with you. I had this dream on Sunday afternoon while taking a nap with my husband. I'm not going to give you an interpretation of it, I'm just going to tell you like I saw it. And I'm not trying to freak anybody out or put fear into anyone, so don't freak out, don't panic. Take it to the Lord in prayer and ask for confirmation. Okay, so that's my disclaimer. Now for the dream. I saw children and grown men taking red barrels and placing them on a fault line in California. I knew that these barrels were going to be used as explosives and were going to be detonated on this fault line. I was shown a map, and I saw that Washington State, Oregon, California, and Nevada would be affected. Those states looked like they would be ripped away from the land, like a landslide. I told myself that the inhabitants of those states need to migrate east, and the temperatures will be different for them, colder, but they'll adjust.
So this morning I had a dream on August 5th, 2026. I'm going to just read what I wrote. So in this dream, it was like the government was planting explosives or planting bombs under the water right near a city that was right on the coast. And it's almost like they were planting these bombs or explosives under the water, almost like in the shape of a circle. And then they began detonating them all at the same time. And right along, like it looked like it was like a little cove or a gulf area where these just big, it was just a big city, tall buildings, totally inhabited city. And I was with another person. I don't know who the other person was, but we were far away up high on the other side of this gulf up in a building, and it was the nighttime. And we're watching this. We're watching all of these bombs or explosives being placed into the water in this circle right near it. And it was like blue lights in darkness, like the night lights. And then all of a sudden, they all began detonating off at the same time. And the explosion was like, everything was like everything turned gray, complete destruction. But we're basically, everything just completely gets destroyed super fast. And all of a sudden, these huge explosions are going off, destroying everything in sight. And it's like crossing the water and coming towards us. So I take my friend, or I don't know who, honestly, I have no idea who that person was. But I just turned and we started running this way as the explosions are coming this way. And we were able to get out of harm's way. And then we saw somebody who was just kind of like dangling there on the other side of the building. But it was so crazy and intense and just such devastation and such destruction. But yeah, it was really interesting. It was like explosions or bombs being detonated under the water. So that was very interesting.
Okay, guys, so the very first things you might want to know is that the first account of this revelation was given well over 5 years ago. And the second account was just received in this month of August of 2026. Now, this is significant because Yah wants us to know that the beast is still up to no good. And this plan that they have is unfolding. You see, he wants us to be aware and expectant, especially you guys who are living in the vicinity of this event that is soon to occur. Now, guys, I want you all to know that I know that this thing is coming. This is not for me, even as Yah has also revealed this to myself as well, and many others many years ago. So I know that this is coming. But why I'm making this video, why I'm creating this warning, is for many of you guys out there that are in doubt, because Yah has also revealed that to me, that there's a great deal of you guys out there that don't believe, and when it occurs, you're also going to be shocked, like the majority, which should not be the case. Yah has revealed this to me several times, that this thing is coming. In one of the visions, we were all waiting. We were just waiting and waiting and waiting. And just suddenly, without warning, this earthquake started happening. You see, and in that particular vision, I didn't see any buildings tumbling. I could see portions of building falling. I could see rocks falling, crushing, and also unaliving people. But in this experience, I didn't see entire buildings falling. Now, guys, This is something that you all need to know. This is very significant. Now, if we put both of these revelations together, they're painting a picture. They're telling us something very clearly. The beast will be behind this event whenever it occurs. In both of the experiences, we understand that they were planting bombs. Where? Well, the first sister mentions that they were placing them on the fault lines, which we all know that will include the San Andreas fault line. The other one said that they were planting these bombs right under the water nearby a coastal city. Now, also from revelation that was given to me from the Lord many years ago, I know for a fact that this coastal city is somewhere over there on the West Coast. It could be potentially San Francisco, but I'm not entirely sure. One thing is for sure, it's somewhere there on the West Coast, one of those cities over there. I know this for a fact because Yaz already revealed this to me many years ago. And one of those three-letter alphabet agencies are involved, specifically the one that begins with a C, no doubt. So when we put all of these revelations together, and these aren't the only ones either, there are several others that Yaz also shared this revelation with over the years. So this is what we know. The beasts have been planting bombs under the water, near the coast, near a coastal city for quite a while. And this coastal city will be somewhere over there in California. Now, this event was seen to occur at nighttime, and we know that it's going to be absolutely devastating. We also know that this event is going to affect several other states. Our sister named them out, Oregon and Nevada. And speaking of Nevada, we know that the Hoover Dam is going to be affected in this event, and the nearby states such as Nevada, etc., are going to be flooded as a result. And this is most definitely not a conspiracy because they've printed the evidence on the money. In the same way that they, for years, planned to bomb the Twin Towers and then proceeded to print it on the money, that's the same thing that they're doing today. They have all of their plans on several of the currencies, just as they had beforehand planned to take down the Twin Towers and then proceeded to execute that plan. They've printed the Hoover Dam going down on the $50 bill, and they will execute that plan. Now, to the average thinking citizen, none of this would make any sense. Like, why would the government want to do something like this? Well, they always have an agenda behind everything that they do. You have to think back to 9/11. They had an agenda for taking down the towers because immediately thereafter, they began a war. You see, they went and invaded somebody else's country. They always need some type of engineered catalysts or created black swan for them to go ahead and move forward with their agenda. So this time they're going to use the earthquake, or should I say earthquakes, because actually it's going to be a series of earthquakes. Each time they're going to get bigger. They're going to use the earthquake to destabilize the economy. That's their main reason for triggering off the San Andreas fault. They're going to use it to bring down the stock market, the housing market, the economy on a whole. Because you'd be surprised to know that the effects of this event will go much, much further and be much more widespread than you thought. It will further destabilize and devalue the Dixie, the US dollar. It will affect the housing markets. The housing markets will depreciate overnight. It will affect also the stock markets. And as a matter of fact, this event will literally trigger off a famine in the United States. Because like I'm pretty sure that many of you already know, California is the breadbasket of the whole of the United States. So this will adversely affect the price of food and food transportation, etc. But also, let's not forget the water. As I just stated before, the Hoover Dam will go down, and that will greatly impact the water. Hence why we've been getting for years now warnings to store up on water in particular. Now, this event is also tied to the wealth transfer, and this is exactly how. This event will adversely affect the stock markets. Whenever the stock markets go down, it affects also the price of Bitcoin. Now, the housing markets will also crash, which will play a very significant role in the wealth transfer happening. So, after hearing all of this, the question remains, does any of us have any idea of, if even the season of when this may occur? Well, I've stated before that we have a deadline of 2028 for this thing to occur. And to be specific, December of 2028, that would be the deadline for this thing to occur. But now, personally, and this is not me setting a date, this is me telling you what I am expecting. Not what I know, but rather what I'm expecting. I'm expecting 2 months. There's a potential for this thing to occur in 2 months. It's either going to be in September or in March. I've always been expecting it in March of every year that has passed, or September. So to widen it a little bit more, either March, April, or September, October. that's when I've always been expecting this event to take place. And I guess I can share with you all one of the reasons why I'm expecting September, and that's a no-brainer, because the elites tend to carry out their Black Swans in these 2 months, in March and in particular September, as they've done several times before. So guys, this video was just a heads up so that you may all be aware and prepared for a Black Swan that we know is most definitely on the horizon and may very well take place in September, whether it's this September or next year or potentially March as well. But these are the watch months for this Black Swan to take place. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with this. This sister had tagged me in a confirmation that she had received. And this confirmation was clear and to the point, as you all can see it for yourselves. She was driving and directly in front of her was the words Black Swan written big and bold on that van. Now that was confirmation not only for her, but it was also for me as well. Because for many years now, I've been searching it out, even as we've been called to do. And this is by no means a coincidence. But you can also let me know what you guys think in the comments. You can let me know your thoughts. I thought that I had to make a video and show you guys what I'm looking at and what I know that is coming down the line. Now that is it for this video, guys. Please take very good care of yourselves. Peace, shalom. Until next time.